All right, live. Okay. Hopefully it's recording all the audio properly. Wasn't going live before. All right, this is the first time. Hello. First time ever going live. I was going to record this as a video just because I tried to search for any videos that had this information and there was none. So it's not really on par with the channel so far, apart from, I guess, repairs and making stuff, fabricating. I want to open up this because I have some faults with my cruise control and my traction control and my ABS, and I'm thinking it's because the ABS doesn't match the transmission anymore. So right now I've got a and 2000, I'll just say an SH9 S Edition Forester ABS pump and module. And I'm hoping, because the lines run the same way, I'm hoping to just open this module up carefully without breaking it, because, God, that'll be a bit of a waste of money after just paying for it and to get it shipped over from Eastern States. Open it up, see what's involved in how this links into the pump itself, and maybe I can avoid, instead of swapping this in physically and undoing all the lines and making a mess and having to bleed all my brakes again, I might be able to just swap modules to see if I can iron out some kinks. So I'm just gonna, I've got all the right stuff. It's got some e-Torx. I don't have the size. Can't read the size because it's too shiny. I've got a 3. No. Anyway, I went and bought these e-Torx, the sockets. I've got Torx ones, but I didn't have the sockets for them. So I'm just going to break this up real time. You're going to see, as I do, what's inside. Hopefully it doesn't make a huge mess. This is in the computer room, so we'll see how stiff they're going to be. I am envisioning there's going to be some gaskets. Just loosen these all off for now. Now these will be quite long, and they'll dive all the way into the actual aluminium block that contains the pump, or part of the pump assembly. I'm hoping it will just be like sensors that are in the way of where the fluid goes in the pump fluids. Because I don't know the depth of all of these as well, I'm going to keep them in a certain order where, depending on how dirty they are, I'll just put each of these in each corner as I take them off. So this one will go here. This was a spur of the moment thing. Like I said, I've been putting off doing this since it came in the mail last week, and been putting off doing it. Then I was going to make a video when I did a search yesterday to try to find videos for this and found nothing. I thought, I'll do a video, and then had dinner, had a glass of wine, thought, I'll get into it now. So I've got an early start at work tomorrow, and that's when I was like, I could make a video or I could go live. And at least this way I'm testing the live function. I've not done it before. Next time I replace my laptop so I can do some editing in the field, I'll be able to do question and answer time and stuff like that later on, depending on how the channel goes. I am going to be revamping the channel soon. I think it's up to that point where I've gone through like the very, very early stage of it. I want to up my production, up my equipment a little bit, but a lot more in the editing side of things as well, just to give you guys a better experience, and also to focus more on the goal of what I want this channel to be. And apart from it being me getting out right now in the Forester, but there will be other vehicles, but also just getting out in my local rural and coastal and outback themed scenery just showing the things that with a cheaper vehicle, using your head and just basic logic can get you through, and you can still have a great time and explore so many different places that you don't need to spend 50, 80, 100 grand to get to and do. And I'd rather me make the mistakes as well and have others learn by them. All right, it feels like there's some gaskets involved here. Maybe some, oh, come on. My brain's failing me. I'll just say gaskets. Oh, here we go. First opening up. All right. This is not what I was expecting, but okay. So this is how it redirects the flow. I know these are the solenoids that go into the pump to do the different valves. This is really interesting. So that's just what's come out of them. So each of these is tracked with the computer to run a solenoid that either pulls this up or down depending on what it needs to do to affect the pump. And there was a gasket, by the way. I'm not completely crazy. There it is. But it was getting over these little ridges on these pistons. So I'd say they're solenoid-driven actuators or valves for how the brake fluid runs through this block to control wheel braking and stuff like that. And it must all work very, very quickly. Now, what's interesting is I have these two prongs here, and they went into this. Then I have this off to the corner, which contacts this little, really should have a pointer, and I don't have one, so I'll just use this. Contacts that little star part there. Oh, this is so grainy. This is potato. All right, well, I now know I need a better webcam. This is just a cheap one. So my whole thought of replacing the module with this could be as simple as taking this off that. If it's that simple, awesome. Reinstalling it's going to be interesting because I do want those two prongs to go back in here and I want them to line up. But because I have these to line up with as well, I should be okay. And that went in like that. So that's good because if this does work, it is as simple as just taking that off, making sure these surfaces are clean, and then putting it back on. My hands are very, very clean. I don't think there's still oil on the gasket. There's a little bit of old gasket overlapping there. That's out. So this should be good to go back on. Now I just have to remember orientation. And I'm going to, what's going to hit first? All these little valves are going to tell me if I'm in the right position. There we go. Beautiful. Now it's going to take a bit of a push to get that to pop over all those little ridges on the valves. And I will get this all back up to nearly finger tight. Just as soon as I feel it stop for the first, boom. I'm going to do diagonals because that way it's even, it's not trying to rotate it at all. And get my threads right. That one was being a little bit sticky. she's good now. And it didn't take much at all to undo it pressure-wise. So, don't like that. Let's try it again. Yep, now it's fine. So I'm not going to torque this up really hard. I pretty much know what I needed to crack it and how much pressure I had on my fingers. And that's all I'm going to run with. I'm not going to find torque specs for something like this. It's just enough to evenly overcome that, how fat the gasket is, to flatten it out a bit for a seal. And that's about all I'm going. So a bit of pressure, and there. So that was a short one. Short video as well. That's good. And the other thing is, if this does leak a little bit, well then I can always pinch these up. I know there's nothing wrong with the gasket, and the seal, as it looks, should seal fine. But if it does weep or whatever, once I've swapped it over, I'll tweak them up. If that doesn't work, then I'll take it off and I'll just pull out the gasket and either replace the gasket or try to salvage that. But right now, that looked like a brand new gasket. Like, these things, I doubt ever get opened up. I was just curious to check it out. So, hey, Track Life. Yeah. Ever since I did the, and I haven't really made the announcement on the channel yet, but ever since I did the engine swap, there's been a few little gremlins, and the main one that stopped me going off-road is not having any traction control. So I've taken off for some testing, and testing every time is, as soon as the wheel goes in the air, that's it, it's all gone. It does lend me to think that my center diff is pretty worn as well. Well, like as worn as a auto 5-speed could be. But yeah, this is to try to get me back out recording content off-road as soon as I've got my traction control, which I think is connected to both ABS and the cruise control through this unit. Once I have them done, I'll be out there recording again, making more content, and that's when I'll focus on revamping the channel and directing a lot more time into it. So thanks, Track Life, for weighing in there, and hopefully I can get some more content up soon once I've got this sorted, because this is the one that's stopping me at the moment. It's if you want to laugh, I did get a showing on 4-wheel drive 24/7. No, 4-wheel drive TV, the Australian production 4-wheel drive TV. They did a Mundaring power lines, and I cheekily crept in at the back like an imposter and followed the group and ended up having a little segment on the show myself. What the people in the production team and also the people out there didn't realize is I had this issue where there's no traction control or traction aids at all. So all the driving you see on that episode is me using momentum and using the throttle only when all 4 wheels are on the ground. And as soon as they lift, you'll hear I'll lift. And yeah, I tried to take the hard lines at one point, following them up, and they think I'm just stuck because I don't have the clearance. It's not the case. I could have gone the easy line around and got up, but what's the point in going out if you don't want to test yourself and have some fun? It's like, if I'm just going to follow people on the gravel track all day, that's boring as hell to me. But if I can learn and give myself a goal, I want to get up that, even with this handicap. And if I make it, awesome. If I don't, then I tried and I learned more about myself and the car. So if you want to laugh, check that episode out. I think it's a thumbnail with power lines with 4-wheel drive TV. And yeah, and that'll also highlight exactly what's happening. As soon as that wheel goes up, I'm stuck. I have to, without thrashing and bashing all the way up the track, I have to conserve my momentum and try to keep the momentum every time all four wheels are on. I'm just giving throttle to try to keep it moving when I know there's the maximum grip before there's another bounce or it gets unsteady. Thanks for joining me on this one. Hopefully this is a straight swap and it saves me a hell of a time undoing because you have all your four corners going into these here. They're the four lines that go to your brakes. This is how it does vector braking and the ABS control, and it just does braking of singular or specific wheels whenever there's stuff going on. So that's how it torque vectors through braking of the wheels and the drive. It can't individually drive wheels by itself. It relies on engine braking to drive the other wheels at different percentages. So that's those lines. And then I think that's pretty much it. I thought there was another line. Oh, there we go. And your two lines that go towards the brake booster that go in there as well. Pretty simple unit, to be honest. And like I said, it looked like a straight swap lines wise with the SHNA 2.5 litre. So I'm not going to swap that round. I'm just going to swap the unit around as long as it's a straight swap. I'll get them out, have a look at them side by side. If it's a yay, plug it in. Hopefully those little lights come off my dash. All right, take care, and hopefully you hang around a little bit longer if you're patient enough for like the revamp of the channel. All right, thank you and take care.